What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be doing another tier list in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So in this video we are going to be looking at the best small forwards in the game, and it is only going to be primary small forwards. So if you guys are wondering where Larry Bird is, where Zion Williamson is, basically they are primary power forwards, and they are definitely better at small forward. And then funnily enough, there's guys like Giannis, LeBron, and Jonathan Isaac, who are significantly better at power forward than they are at small forward, but yet they're primary small forwards. So just to keep things like consistent, I always with these tier lists just do primary positions. So if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We upload more MyTEAM content than anywhere else. And if you guys want the best tips for how to play the game, if you guys want to learn about the best budget players, and if you guys want to see more rankings, see a lot more things like this, subscribe to the channel. We upload more than anywhere else. So anyway, yeah. Now let's get on to it. First of all, we have got Elgin Baylor. Elgin Baylor, I mean B tier. He's okay on defense. I hate his release, by the way. If you want to argue, if you like his release and you want to argue him an A tier, that's fine. I don't like his release. He is fast though. He's a pretty good dunker. His defense is more than good. It's good. It's good. He's a good enough defensive player. At this stage in the game, he is somewhat outdated, and I big time realized that yesterday. That it was I think yesterday was the first time I played against like a competitive level player with the more up-to-date cards. Most people that I've been playing with who've been using more up-to-date cards had just been like random people in Unlimited, and I've been very, very competitive with those guys. And yeah, yesterday coming up against a top 10 player with the elite cards really kind of showed that there is a massive gap between, say, the day one cards and the current cards, and that's unfortunately the downfall of Elgin Baylor. Then we got Bernard King. I mean, he sucks. He just objectively sucks. He's day one, he was bad day one. Yeah, that's about it. Dr. J, I mean, he is still a little bit outdated at this stage. He's got a lot of good things going for him, especially if you badge him up, but again, I don't suggest to badge him up. I don't exactly know what price he is to lock in, but like when he came out, he was 1.5 million MT. He was 1.5 million MT. As well as that, he basically gets no badges off rip as well, so you got to give him like quick first step, you got to give him range extender, which are really expensive. I don't think quick first step is too bad at the minute because there's no like really, really major cards that need it, but as soon as quick first step is needed by somebody, you better believe that that's going to shoot back up in price. So, yeah, Dr. J, good card. Needs badges to be great, though, but he's overall solid. Then there's Larry Bird. I mean, if you want a pure pick-and-pop power forward at the start of the game, he's the best you could get. Only problem with Larry is, like, you can't get away with someone with 60 speed anymore. You just can't. Would I have more success? If I'm talking purely in a setting of playing the unlimited game mode, if I'm playing unlimited game mode against just an average player, will I have more success with a Larry Bird than an Elgin? Yes, because he shoots the lights out, one of the best pure shooters in the game, especially on current gen. But he's just too slow to really be viable with the way the meta is right now on current gen. So yeah, C tier. Although next gen again, pretty good. Odom, D. Odom's not very good. Like I've used Odom quite. There's a lot of weeks in limited where you kind of needed someone like an Odom, but nah, he just wasn't it. He was not it. Like earlier on in the year, I didn't like him when he came out. I didn't use him when he came out. Like when he came out, I can't even remember who I was using instead of Odom. Was it like Bruce Bowen or something that I used in my main squad instead of Odom? Like I really hated him from the start. Then we got PG. I mean, it's hard to separate him and Elgin. I prefer Paul George. Some people prefer Elgin. But 6'9", small forward / power forward. He shoots the ball well from around the 3-point line because he's got hot zones everywhere. Great release on next gen. And PG base on next gen is up there with the best of them. Kobe base on next gen is just unbelievable. But PG is right up there with that. But yeah, so Paul George, good defender. He's fast. He dunks well. No range extender is a bit of a problem. So let's put him here in B tier because I think that's where he belongs. Kevin Durant, C tier with Larry. KD's alright. He doesn't do anything. He's like a jack of all trades. Like he doesn't do anything badly. He also doesn't do anything well. Also, I'm not entirely sure if he's 6'10" or 6'9", because I think, if I'm not mistaken, this Kevin Durant is 6'9", but the Pink Diamond 6'10". I could be wrong with that. But he's not the greatest scorer, but he's a moderately good scorer. He's not the greatest defender, but he's moderately good on defense. Kind of does a jack of all trades, master of none. Then we got Latrell. I mean, I don't mind. I think Latrell's just worse than Dr. J, but he's like a good bit worse than Dr. J. Although on next gen, I hate Latrell. I hate base 1 on next gen. Or say not base 1, base 4. And Latrell has base 4. Although base 4 is so cash in current gen. So, it's a weird one because Latrell is closer to these guys than he is to Dr. J. But Dr. J might be one of the top ones in A. I'll put him B. You get Giannis, B tier. I don't like Giannis, by the way. I'm just going to say that right now. I really hate Giannis in this game. I think later on in the year we will get an unbelievable Giannis, but I don't like Giannis. And I'm saying that now because I think I'm going to put them one tier. I'm going to put this one tier above, but I don't like this Giannis either. Oh, this is a tough one. For my playstyle, I'm going to put them in B, but I know there are a lot of people that like Giannis. But if I put Giannis, I think these cards feel basically the same when they're all badged out. So, I don't know. Like, if you like Giannis, both of them should, I think they either both should be up here or both should be down here. Let me just, because I'm not sure, let me just put one in each. Dominique, low A tier. He shoots well-ish. Dunks well when you give him quick first step. It's still mad that he doesn't come with quick first step. He's like a downgraded Dr. J. That's basically what Dominique is. LeBron. I don't like him, by the way, at all. He's B. Not a good shooter. Somewhat decent speed. Or say not somewhat, very, very good speed. Somewhat decent defender. He's got no quick first step. He has flaws. He has a lot of flaws. I think later on in the year, especially on next gen, LeBron's going to be one of the best cards in the game. But current gen, this card, in my opinion, is just not it. And we got Pierce. Pierce is going in the same tier. I like Pierce. And I still, like when I was playing in my team Unlimited, Pierce was still really good. When I played against a really weak opponent yesterday in 250k, Pierce still held his own. But there was a difference. Like, the one player that really got me killed was Draymond Green yesterday. Like, that was the first time I really killed using Draymond. But Pierce, he's an alright cone, but like, would I rather use a Paul Pierce or a Klay Thompson? Klay Thompson. He's a cone who can't shoot from the corners. That's the only thing he can do is catch and shoot. That's literally all he does. And he can't shoot from the corners. Person. I mean, he's a big guy who, when he's badged out, is alright, but I like his release. C. Or B, sorry. Not a badge man, but he's good. Tyreek. C. I like his release. Most people hate it. And considering the fact that like set shot 4 is a lot more hated than it is loved by people, I'm gonna have to drop him a little bit lower. Although for me, he'd be probably low B tier, but I'm gonna put him C. He's somewhere in between anyway. Worthy. He has the original Chris Webber release. Remember the way they had to change Chris Webber release because everybody hated it? Yeah, that's what Worthy has. He's also got not the greatest badges off rip. You have to badge him up. I just don't like him. Even though fully badged up, you can definitely argue he's this tier. I just don't like him. I've used him, don't like him. Peja Stojakovic, I mean, you get in. Is he worse than Lamar Odom, though? I mean, I might have to change these tiers. Because there aren't that many really bad cards left. Let me move Worthy down, Person down. Yeah, let me keep it like this. But yeah, if I'm putting Peja in worthless, I gotta put Odom worthless. Peja can hit around the 3-point line. Della Shrimp. He's kind of slow, but he's got like every badge and a good release. So he's somewhere between these two tiers right here. He's pretty good at power forward, can't lie. Can't lie. For the way I play, he's good at power forward. But, oh, where am I going to put him? A, B, A, B, A, B, B. He's not as good as Latrell. If I'm moving anyone up, I'm moving Latrell's pretty well up. And we got Kawhi. I mean, he's got gold clamps. That's about it. His overall stats are horrendous. They're absolutely horrendous. C tier. Then we got Jimmy. Jimmy, in my opinion, is B tier. I like Jimmy. Jimmy he dunks well enough. His animations are good. His release is good. His defense is pretty good. His animations are good. I think just in general, Jimmy's a really, really good card. So, yeah, Jimmy's going into the massive B tier. Grant Hill, S. He's crazy good. He's absolutely crazy good. Shoots the ball well. Handles it well. Dunks the ball really well. Yeah, he's not like lights out like a cone, like some of the cones are, but that's not what he does. Like, his worst aspect is his shooting, and it's still more than competent. But his height, his defense, he's just unbelievable. Then we got Hondo, John Hablachek. I mean, B. He's B. He's just objectively B. Then we got Gervin. I mean, Gervin's going S. Gervin's really good. Gervin is really, really good, especially when they update his hot zones. Good release, good badges. Just overall good card. Like, there's nothing really wrong with Gervin. He can play the 2-guard position as well, which is a really good secondary, especially for someone 6'7". You'd rather see them be able to play the 2 than play the 4. But yeah, so that is pretty much it with Gervin. He does everything. The one thing with Gervin, though, is that a lot of people are saying you shouldn't lock in from, and I do agree with that, because he basically just does what every other card does. He's going to cost a lot of money to lock in to just be a good, solid player. Then, Hedo Turkoglu. If we're talking next gen, Hedo Turkoglu is A tier. If we're talking current gen, Hedo Turkoglu is better, slightly better Lamar Odom. So, it pains me to do this. Top of C tier. I love next gen. He's a revelation. Like, he's a different animal on next gen. He is a god. He is the best dribbling I've ever seen on next gen. He has this. If you guys ever watch me on stream, whenever I was playing CPU, he has a move that glitches the AI. So if somebody's off balling you, you can get to the basket with Hedo every single time, because you can glitch the AI with a step back, going left, a step back dribble into like an explosive behind the back, and it stuns the AI like the explosive did in 20, and you just blow by them and dunk, because he does 6'10" with 80 dunks, so he dunks it on people. He is ridiculous on next gen, and he's just so bad on current gen that I have to put him in C tier. I hate having to do it. Because, man, he is. When we're talking about budget guys on next gen, he might be number 1. Because his Aldridge base, which is the same as Lamar Odom has, it's nowhere near as bad on next gen as it is on current gen. But it's awful on current gen. Like, I've tried using Hedo on current. I despise him. He's so bad. Man, on next, he's another level. He's basically like mini Kevin Durant Pink Diamond on next gen. He's crazy good. Crazy good. Speaking of Kevin Durant Pink Diamond, didn't think he was here, but since he's here, we might as well put him in S tier. Kevin Durant is freakishly good, lads. Handles really good. Jumper's really good. He does everything well. He does absolutely everything well. There are no flaws with this card. And we got Vince. Vince is A. Vince is like comparable to a middle badge Julius Erving. Like, if you've got about maybe 3/4 of your badges completed on Dr. J, that's basically what Vince Carter is. So he belongs, in my opinion. I was about to say it's not a close one. He's definitely above B tier. He's definitely at A tier. Then there's LeBron James. So this is a close one. Because some certain play styles, he's an S tier player. I don't know. He's flawed. He's seriously flawed. I'm just going to say this now. Next gen 2K21, when we get Opal LeBron, he might be the best card in the game. I don't know what they did to LeBron James base. I don't know what they did to it. Anyone who plays between both gens, it goes from being one of the worst releases in the game in terms of, well, not in terms of like timing, because it is somewhat quick. It doesn't mean one of the worst releases because he can't shoot from the corners and it's hard to time, to one of the best releases in the game. Like, LeBron James on next gen is without question S tier, but we gotta look more at current gen than anything else, because most people are on current gen. So just like a Hedo Turkoglu, I'm gonna base it on current gen more so than anything. So he is going into A tier. But man, I'm telling you, LeBron on next is next level. Then we got Brandon Ingram. Ingram's A. Ingram is A. You can give him clamps. When he gets clamps, he's got bronze range extender, a super good release, good dribble stigs, he gets good animations. He's lower end of A, definitely, but I mean, badged up, he's definitely better than all these guys in B. Only bronze range can kind of hurt him a little bit, especially because it's non-upgradable, but at the end of the day, range extender costs so much that it's indifferent if a person has it on bronze. Like, it's going to be 100k to badge him up, which isn't worth it. Then we got Chris Middleton. So this is Chris Middleton's always a tough one. He is always a tough one. I'm gonna have to start moving more people down in tiers because I've just realized I'm gonna actually fill out the lower tiers now. D tier Kiki Vandeweghe, D tier Alex English. Kiki Vandeweghe is this Larry Bird right here, except he doesn't come with clamps. This Bird right here has silver clamps and good lateral. This Kiki Vandeweghe is literally the exact same as Larry Bird, except he has got no clamps and lateral his lateral isn't as good either. So he is literally just worst version of that day one Larry Bird. And which it's a pity because I have Kiki. Like, I have Kiki Vandeweghe. I wish the card was good on my main account, but he's just not. Then we got Alex English. English is meh. And like, it's a pity because we got some okay rewards. Like Aldridge and Chris Mullen were good rewards that we got from Unlimited last season. Like, this season is Alex English. I don't even know who the other Unlimited rewards are off the top of my head because I decided not to even go for them. Yeah, so then we got Chris Middleton. This is a tough one because if you need your small forward to kind of do everything, he's not it. But if you just need him to catch and shoot, in terms of just play defense, be solid with his release and everything, he might be the best pure 3-and-D cone in the game. Like, if you're talking about being good at what he does, he's S tier. But if you're building team around the player with how much he costs, like building a team around LeBron or Vince or Badge Dr. J is just going to be better. But the way I play, he suits so much. He is like my perfect 2-guard. He is like my perfect 2-guard. But later on in the year, is there going to be any point for a card like this when every card can do everything? This is my toughest one, and I'm going to put him in. I'm putting him in S tier. And just to show how serious I am about how much I like Chris Middleton, one of my favorite cards in the game, Glenn, is going into A tier. Glenn's going to be top A. Glenn is so good. He's literally like downgraded Zion. They are very, very similar cards, but he is like downgraded Zion. He is a freakishly good card. Glenn's got the release, especially on next gen. Glenn is just a god. He's good on current gen. Don't get me wrong, he's good. He is definitely one of those players that held their own for me in 250 yesterday. But he is very, very good. Speaking of players that held their own, man, Eddie Jones is god. That's all I'm going to say. And we got Carmelo Anthony. Melo's good. And Melo's B tier. He's B. I don't like his release on current gen. I have yet to use him on next gen. If only they gave Melo his like 2K13 to 2K18 release. I think on to 17, I didn't like his release was good in 18. I think it was hard at the time, but from 17 downwards, holy moly, lads. Melo was that dude. That's the only way I can describe it. He was an absolute god. So yeah, Carmelo Anthony, B tier. Next gen, if he is better, could potentially be S or A. Mullen, I mean, same as Hablachek, I guess. And then, I gotta even out these tiers, man. Can't move any of these down, though. Alright, it is what it is. Cam Reddish, S tier, and Paul George, wherever Paul George is, you go to S tier. These cards are basically the same card, except one of them can play a 2, one of them can play a 4. Paul George has a slight advantage because he's that little bit taller, and he's a tiny bit better. But, like, there's almost no difference in these cards. They both got Paul George base. They're both the same dribble 6. They're both really good defenders. They both can shoot the ball, in my opinion, really well. If you don't like PG release, you might struggle. But if you do like PG release, these cards are great. And PG release objectively great on next gen. They're both gods on next gen. Then we got Iguodala. I mean, Iggy's just like juiced up Baylor, so A tier. I definitely underrated Iggy. I don't know why I said Iguodala was in like the 60s, my best overall players. Iggy is one of the best defensive cards in the game. He is great at what he does. He is just Elgin Baylor, but better in every single way. He's solid. He's a more than solid and more than usable card. I regret not going for him? No. I will still to this day say the only player that I regret not going for was Steph Curry, because I had like 80,000 XP with like 2 weeks to go on Steph Curry, and I could have easily grinded out the other 70,000 XP. But he's the only one. I don't regret not going for Ewing. Don't regret not going for Iggy. Don't regret not going for Wade or Blake, even though they're both exceptional. Steph Curry's the only one. But Iggy, really good card. Then we got Connie Hawkins. Hawkins, not worthless. B. Badges of Connie Hawkins is good. He's not quite as good as these guys now, but he's good. He's a Dino clone. Good overall, just animations and stuff. He's B. And we got Shane Battier. I mean, is he that much different than Diamond Kawhi? He's just Bruce Bowen. Like, they're the same card. And when I mean they're the same card, they're literally the same card. Like, same animations. I'm pretty sure they're the same hot zones. 2K just made them a carbon copy of each other. Like, they're literally just the exact same thing. So, yeah, if you like Bruce Bowen, Ruby, you'll like this card, I guess. And we got Michael Finley. I mean, Finley, again, he's got set shot 4. Badged out, he should be okay. I've used him non-badged out, and even on offense, he just didn't feel great. One thing I will say about set shot 4 is that it's not a one to shoot off the peak. I like it off the catch, whereas Finley, he doesn't really play the defense, doesn't really have enough going about him to be effective. Aside from, or like, as like a spot-up shooter or a slasher. So it's kind of similar level to Tyreek. Rudy, A tier. When he's fully badged out, he's a beast, man. He's a beast. Like, he can curry. He's basically like, imagine he's literally is just Steven Jackson with juiced up stats and badges. So yeah, Rudy's really, really good. The only problem is it costs so much to badge him out, and it's rare you find one of them badged out on the market. But he's ridiculous. Then we got Jefferson. I mean, badged out Jefferson's A tier. Defense is great. Animations are great. Everything about this card in general is good in my opinion. So Richard Jefferson is going A tier. Gordon Hayward, B. He's going in there with these, like, with the shooters. Hayward's release though, base 28 is so cash on current gen. Yeah, he belongs in this tier. An overall solid card. Good enough on offense. Can be okay on defense. Decent length. B tier. Chandler Parsons, wherever Hito is. C tier. He's like better Kiki Vandeweghe. That's the best way to describe him. He's like much better Kiki Vandeweghe. So yeah, he's C tier. Cliff Hagen. Now this is a tough one, because if we're talking next gen, he's A, and there's no question about it. If we're talking current, he's B. He moves like a truck on current gen. I've never seen a person with as good speed stat as Cliff Hagen be as slow as Cliff Hagen. I had Cliff Hagen. I was trying him out for 250. I was like testing him out. He couldn't move. I was struggling against rubies trying to score with Cliff Hagen. But he's got half range, great release. But I'm not going to do it. I'm putting him in B tier. But if we're talking next gen, the guy is A. And the guy's comfortably A. Next gen, he is next level. Then we are coming up, we're going to Jarrell Wallace. Jarrell Wallace, I mean, C. He's alright. Like, a lot of people do like the guy. A lot of people do like the card. But I don't see how, apart from value, he's any better than a Kawhi or a Shane Battier even. Like, Battier is very, very comparable. Obviously, value-wise, he's really good. Not the best card in the world, in my opinion. And we got Jonathan Isaac. And I mean, if I've got Pink Diamond Giannis in A, I gotta put Isaac in A. Jonathan Isaac is better than Giannis. I'm saying it right now. Isaac is better than Giannis. But I don't think Isaac belongs... Do I move? I'm not gonna overthrow B tier. Oh, I'm so torn on this, because I'm not entirely sure if I can justify putting Jonathan Isaac over, like, Baylor or Paul George or Melo. But also, he's better than Pink Diamond Giannis, and I know I'll be killed if I have Pink Diamond Giannis any lower than A tier. Isaac is 6'11", shoots the ball well from the corner. If you like his release, he's cash. If you don't like release, it's a weird one. Some people love his release, some people hate it. I love it. Plays unbelievable defense, great length, dunks the ball really well, quick first steps. The great card, in my opinion. And Scotty S tier. Scotty, when he's badged out, is fantastic. Even non-badged out, he's fantastic. Defensively, he's God tier. Can get range extender or released, which is nowhere near as bad this year as it has been in previous years. A just all around good player in my opinion. And a guy who just does a little bit of everything on the floor while also being the best defensive player on pretty much the game at the minute. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. Scotty rounding out the top 7 in my opinion. Chris Middleton's definitely debatable. If you want to move Middleton down, that's fine. Actually, I'm going to move Middleton down because I think the gap between these guys and Middleton, there's a gap between these guys and Middleton. I think Middleton is a lot closer to A tier than anything else, so Middleton's down. All these guys are A tier. If you want to move Jonathan Isaac down, that's fine. But if you're moving Jonathan Isaac down, you better move Giannis down because Isaac's better than Giannis. Cliff Hagen, if you want to move him up, if you're on next gen, that's fine. Baylor, if you're good with his release, probably will be moved up a tier. And with these guys, C tier is just a bunch of kind of specialists. Again, Gerald Wallace, Shane Battier, if you want to move them up, I'm fine with that. But these bottom 2 tiers are all just bad cards, trust me. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.